Well, hello, 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 ladies. Let me sing that to you. Well, good morning, good happy Tuesday morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, my name is Petie Huffman, and I am so honored to be able to take this time to share some of the wise and wonderful virtues that our Mary Kay Ash taught me and taught you. I have had the distinct pleasure of being with this company for over 43 years and being mentored by Mary Kay for 23 of those. Oh my gosh, such memories, such stories. Well, let me begin. There is a famous saying, in quote, when you are green, you are growing, and when you are ripe, you are rotten. And oh, ladies, we always have to be growing. That's something that we have to remember right now, especially this pandemic year. I heard someone say one time that if we want to share our past, that we need to see where our future is going. So let me tell you a little bit about our past. When I first started in 1978, I had just moved to the big city of Chicago from a very small little town. In fact, it's called a village of Crestline, Ohio, less than 3,000 people. I was a young mom. I had been an only child, and I was kind of a privileged child. But now I was married with a husband that traveled 42 weeks out of the year. I was in a great big new city. I had no friends. I had 2 small children. I was lonely, and I was broke. Not privileged anymore. But the Chicago branch of Mary Kay had opened up in 1975. And oh my gosh, it was the most beautiful building, perched right there on a very busy highway that I traveled on all the time. It was noticed by many, and it was definitely noticed by me. So when I joined in 1978, I was really trained by some of the giants, and they were on a mission. Top directors, Judy Tapella, the first national from Chicago, Sue Ford, Diane Velde, who became a national, Sandy Miller, who became a national, my sales director, Sonia LeVay, who became a national. And then national sales director, Nancy Tejan, came to the branch once a month, and many times she brought down with her Arlene Lenars, national sales director Arlene Lenars, and national sales director Karen Straub. See, they were on the cutting edge, and they were a direct descendant of Mary Kay Ash, and they were there to start her legend correctly. We were so proud of our products. We were so proud of our company. Now, granted, it was the day of the Mary Kay Who. I mean, I can remember one time a lady asked me if Mary Kay Cosmetics was a toilet boy cleaner. Toilet bowl cleaner. Oh, my gosh. But these giants trained us, they groomed us, and they taught us all about the Mary Kay culture. We had a goal of building 300 new directors that year in Chicago. So they even have classes from former Miss America on how to walk down steps. We were in those little mini skirts back then. And how to walk into a home, and how to talk, and how to get in and out of our cars with grace, and how to get into our trunk without showing our high knees. They were taught by Mary Kay herself, so they taught us, and they taught me. What virtues did we need to learn? Integrity. Our word is our bond. If we were saying we were going to do it, then we suited up and we showed up, which took great time management and how to handle our priorities. I started with 2 babies, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, but within 2 years, I had 2 more babies. God, family, Mary Kay. How to be balanced. money management because we were growing in leaps and bounds, and most of us were housewives. We didn't know how to run businesses. Then there was how to help others, the true go-give spirit. Oh, it was so well and alive in Chicago. How to use the golden rule in never taking customers away from each other or possible team members. Here's an example of this. My director and now NSD Emeriti, Sonia LeVay, grew by over 200 new members in 1 year. Oh, you guys, we went from a really small group to where we actually had to sit on top of tables to get us all in the room. And there were 4 of us that became directors that year that lived us within 1 mile of each other. Sonia taught us the golden rule. It was imperative to not take each other's customers or possible team members. Ladies, in this virtual world, it is so important that we remember this. We were taught that faith and fear could not be in the same sentence. To let others soar instead of always thinking about ourselves. I have to admit, this was my very hardest. I whined and whined and whined to Sonia. I'd whine after the meeting, then I'd go home and whine some more on the telephone. But she listened, and she guided me into the right direction. To always put Mary Kay on our shoulders and say, what would Mary Kay do in this situation? I still do this to this very day. Never any negativity in public. That was saved for a private conversation with her. You know, one time we were in Dallas and we were at a banquet and I was sitting with Arlene Lenars and Nancy Tejan and Holly Zick and Judy Curtis and Sonia and myself. I'm telling you, privileged. And all of a sudden, the conversation got a little negative. And Arlene turned to Nancy and said, would you like to go to the bathroom? We didn't think anything of it, and they got up and they went. And then they came back, and the conversation was still going the same direction. They looked at each other and said, would you like to go to the bathroom again? We all knew we were doing something that Mary Kay wouldn't be very proud of us. We learned that lesson. And then at one of these other banquets, oh my gosh, you know how excited we can get and how we can yell and how we can clap and how we can cheer and hoot and holler. Well, next door to our room was a wedding that was going on. And they came over and said, we have a wedding going on next door. And Mary Kay asked us, oh my gosh, we have to be kind. We have to be respectful. And so no more clapping, no more cheering. We took our cloth napkins and we shook them in the air. It was the funniest doggone thing you've ever seen. But to this day, you will see directors do that when they want to show admiration and exciting things going on. Now as you grow, or even if you've been in years and years and years, we've always learned this one. You know, sometimes we compare ourselves. Sometimes we doubt ourselves. You will question yourself so many times in your career. Comparison. That is something that Mary Kay worked on all the time with us. You know, I was so lucky to have a wonderful recruiter, a beautiful recruiter. I mean, she had the most gorgeous head of hair and dressed so beautifully. And she was so good in the company, and I emulated her. And I tried to dress like her. I even got my hair cut like her. And I didn't realize it, that this was a good thing. We went down to DIQ at the same time. I didn't see that. I just kept comparing myself to Rosemary, thinking I was not as good as Rosemary. And I was just spending my time telling everybody about Rosemary, and I was telling Mary Kay, and Mary Kay took my hand, just like only Mary Kay could do, and she said, Petie, it's time you stopped being a second-class Rosemary and became a first-class Petie. Oh, my gosh. to believe in yourself, and to use your God-given talents to run and to how to run your unit. To not always be looking over your shoulder, wondering what other people were doing. You know, it's a great lesson Mary Kay taught me. And I will end with this last lesson. We had a July jamboree in St. Louis. Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. I remember my first one. I was so excited that the second one, I was going to take Dick and the kids back to it, and we were going to go on a vacation afterwards, and I was going to pay for everything, and I was so excited. But right before that, we found out that Mary Kay's husband, Mel, was very, very ill with cancer. And we worried. We knew there would be a good chance she would not be there. And then he passed away a few days before Jamboree. And so we knew in our hearts Mary Kay wouldn't be there. And we went anyways. You know, Mary Kay doesn't call off things unless there's a pandemic. And the theme that year was Tell a Woman, and it was all about communication. And the TV show was Dallas, and so they played that Dallas theme, and, you know, we knew the curtain was going to come out and you know, separate up, and there was going to be Mary Kay Nationals, but no Mary Kay. And the curtain opened up, and there was Mary Kay. We couldn't believe it. And we cried and cried and cried because we loved her so much. And she said, I told Mel that I would not come unless he got better. And now he's better. He's with the Lord. And we cried and cried with Mary Kay. But she said, I know that my company is in good hands because it's in my daughter's hands. And she had all of her nationals on stage, and she called them her nationals, her national daughters. And you know what? We are all her daughters. We are all her daughters. We are to emulate her. We are to take her legends. We are to take everything she taught us. And let's flourish. Let's flourish these last 4 months like we've never flourished before. I'm telling you, I can feel it in the air. This pandemic's coming to an end, and we have to make this our best year ever. Take integrity. Take faith. Take time management. Take money management. Take the true go-give spirit. Take the golden rule and make Mary Kay the best ever. Thank you very much for allowing me to share my heart. Bye-bye now.